Forrest Gump's original cast. Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Forrest Gump was played by a different actor? Someone other than Tom Hanks? What if John Travolta, the star of Saturday Night Fever, had played Forrest? Would he have made the character cooler and more charming? Or what if Bill Murray, the funny guy from Ghostbusters, had played Forrest?
You done watching it?
Would he have made the movie a comedy instead of a heartwarming story? In this video, we're going to explore the original plan for casting Forrest Gump. We'll look at the actors who were considered for the role and how they would have changed the movie. Imagine another world where Forrest Gump was played by someone else.
We are against any war where black soldiers are sent to the front line to die for a country that hates them.
A world that is really interesting and even a little strange. But this time, you'll be armed well with appreciation for the great Tom Hanks performance.
Now, my mama's always telling me how miracles happen every day. Some people don't think so, but they do.
Let's get in and see what could have been. History of the film. From the 1986 novel of Winston Groom, Forrest Gump finds its way into becoming one of the favorite films in America cinema history. The movie was produced in 1994, telling the story of Forrest Gump, a man with a low IQ who finds himself in the middle of the most important events of the 20th century. This is why Forrest Gump, full of drama and comedy, infused with historical fiction, caught the viewers and critics with 13 Academy Award nominations and 6 wins, including Best Picture and Best Actor for the talented Tom Hanks. But before the movie became a cultural phenomenon, it was just an idea. Winston Groom's novel, which was inspired by his own experiences growing up in the South, was initially met with a lukewarm reception. It wasn't until Paramount Pictures acquired the rights to the novel that the project began to take shape. Casting the right actor to play Forrest Gump was a crucial part of the movie's success. The character required a unique blend of innocence, charm, and wit, and the filmmakers knew they needed someone special to bring him to life. Themes and impact of Forrest Gump. One of the most significant themes of Forrest Gump is empathy.
You're a goddamn genius. That's the most outstanding answer I've ever heard. You must have a goddamn IQ of 106.
The movie takes a character who is a societal outsider and makes us love him. Forrest's innocence, charm, and wit make him relatable, and his struggles and triumphs evoke feelings of empathy in the audience. As Tom Hanks, the actor who played Forrest, said, "I think the thing I was most drawn to was the innocence and the goodness of the character." This highlights the movie's ability to humanize Forrest and make us connect with him on a deeper level. But Forrest Gump's impact goes beyond just its characterization. The movie takes us on a tour of recent American history, from the 1950s to the 1980s. Forrest's experiences during the Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Movement, and the rise of the counterculture movement are all woven into the narrative. The film's use of historical events as a backdrop for Forrest's story adds depth and context to the movie. The movie explores several universal themes, including love, suffering, and the human condition. Forrest's love for Jenny, his childhood friend, and later his wife, is a central theme of the movie. While Forrest Gump's historical significance is undeniable, the movie also had a big part of universal themes that resonate with audiences on a deeper level. It explores the theme of suffering as Forrest faces numerous challenges throughout his life, including his experiences in Vietnam and his struggles with his mother's illness. Roger Ebert, a film critic, commented, saying, "The movie is more of a meditation on our times, as seen through the eyes of a man who lacks cynicism and takes things for exactly what they are." The film's impact can also be seen in its awards and accolades, including 6 Academy Awards. The original casting choices. When it comes to casting, the right actor can make or break a movie. In the case of Forrest Gump, the role of the titular character was a highly coveted one, with several big-name actors vying for the part. But who were the original casting choices, and how would they have changed the movie? John Travolta, fresh from his success in Saturday Night Fever and Pulp Fiction, was the first choice to play Forrest Gump. Travolta was known for his charisma and charm, and it's easy to see why he was considered for the role. However, Travolta turned down the part, reportedly due to concerns about the film's tone and his own suitability for the role.
You know what?
What?
Bill Murray, known for his comedic genius in films like Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day, was also considered for the role of Forrest Gump. But Murray's take on the character would have been vastly different from Tom Hanks, with a more comedic tone and a focus on Forrest's absurdity. We know for sure that Murray would have brought a unique energy to the role, but it's hard to imagine him capturing the same level of emotional depth and nuance that Hanks brought to the part. Other actors who were considered for the role of Forrest Gump include Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. While each of these actors would have brought their own unique take to the role, it's hard to imagine any of them capturing the same level of success that Tom Hanks achieved. The most important aspect in this movie was the romance between Forrest and Jenny. It basically was the central theme of the movie, and the chemistry between the two actors is the reason why their relationship looks so believable. The supporting cast of Forrest Gump is also an important part of the movie's success. If the original casting plan had gone ahead, the supporting cast would have also been affected in several ways. If John Travolta or Bill Murray had been cast as Forrest, the chemistry between Forrest and Jenny would have been vastly different. Travolta's Forrest would have been more charming and suave, while Murray's Forrest would have been more quirky and offbeat.
Go! Why did you put that weapon together so quickly, Gump?
In either case, the romance between Forrest and Jenny would have been affected, and the movie's emotional impact would have been diminished. With Tom Hanks as Forrest, the chemistry between Forrest and Jenny is tender and genuine. Hanks brings a vulnerability and sensitivity to the role that makes Forrest's love for Jenny feel authentic and heartfelt. Robin Wright, who played Jenny, has said that she and Hanks had a strong connection on set, which helped to create a believable and compelling romance. Similarly, the role of Mrs. Gump, played by Sally Field, would have been affected by the original casting plan. Field's performance as Forrest's mother is warm and nuanced, and her chemistry with Hanks is a key part of the movie's emotional impact. If Travolta or Murray had been cast as Forrest, it's unlikely that the same level of chemistry would have been achieved between Forrest and his mother. The casting of Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump. Now that being said, if the original casting plan had gone ahead, it's unlikely that the level of chemistry would have been achieved, especially without Tom Hanks.
Look at me, Forrest. There's nothing you need to do, okay? You didn't do anything wrong.
The casting of Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump is a story of serendipity and good fortune. After the original casting plan fell through, the filmmakers were left scrambling to find the perfect actor to play the role. Let's explore how Tom Hanks landed the role of Forrest Gump and what made him the perfect fit for the part. Tom Hanks was not the first choice to play Forrest Gump. In fact, he was not even in the running until the original casting plan fell through. However, when the filmmakers saw Hanks' performance in the movie Philadelphia, they knew they had found their Forrest. Hanks' portrayal of a man with AIDS in Philadelphia showcased his range and depth as an actor, and the filmmakers were impressed. Hanks was initially hesitant to take on the role of Forrest Gump. He was concerned about the film's tone and whether he was a right fit for the part. But after meeting with director Robert Zemeckis, Hanks was convinced that he was the right man for the job. Zemeckis' vision for the film and his enthusiasm for the project won Hanks over, and he agreed to take on the role. Tom Hanks' casting as Forrest Gump was a masterstroke. He brought a level of depth and nuance to the role that was previously unimaginable. The casting of Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump marked a turning point in his career. The film's success catapulted Hanks to international stardom.
I have to, Forrest.
Jenny?
And he went on to become one of the most respected and beloved actors of his generation. The accolades of Forrest Gump. The movie won many awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Tom Hanks' great performance. This was a big deal and made the film a classic. Forrest Gump also won 4 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Movie and Best Actor for Tom Hanks. These awards showed that the film was a hit with critics and audiences alike. Tom Hanks has said that he was drawn to the role of Forrest because of the character's innocence and good heart. He has also stated that playing Forrest was a life-changing experience that taught him a lot about himself and the world. The film's success is due to its timeless story, memorable characters, and great performances. Forrest Gump's impact on popular culture is still felt today, and it remains one of the most loved films of all time. Forrest Gump, Part 2. But with the rise of remakes and reboots in Hollywood, the question on everyone's mind is, could Forrest Gump be remade? Would it be possible to recreate the magic of the original film with a new cast and crew.
Let me tell you about us. Our purpose here is to protect our black leaders from the racial onslaught of the pig who wishes to brutalize our black.
There have been various adaptations and remakes of this iconic movie, and there are multiple fan-made stories and theories. In one of those stories, Forrest Gump's son, Forrest Jr., takes center stage. The story follows Forrest Jr. as he navigates the challenges of growing up with a famous father. Forrest Jr. wants to make a difference in the world, just like his dad did. Forrest Jr. gets involved in a big movement to help people who are treated unfairly. He uses the lessons his dad taught him to help make a change. Meanwhile, Forrest Sr. is getting older and knows he doesn't have much time left. He wants to make sure his son is ready to take care of himself. The story jumps back and forth between the past and the present. It shows how Forrest Sr. and Forrest Jr. have a special bond, but also have their differences. Forrest Jr. needs to find his own way in life and not just follow in his dad's footsteps. But don't these stories lack the spark that made the original Forrest Gump so special? They seem to follow a familiar formula, but without the same heart and soul that made the original a classic. We don't know for sure if a Forrest Gump Part 2 will be made, or if these fan-made parts would ever come up on big screens. What we know for sure is that it shouldn't be the original planned cast that was scrapped before the movie was made.
I got it. Just by doing what you told me to do.
The original movie was a classic, and it's hard to top that. The fan-made stories are okay, but they don't have the same magic as the original. That's it for today's video. Tell us what you think. Comment with your thoughts below. Do you also have a fan story? Share your ideas with us. Before we wrap up, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Stay updated with all our engaging movie content, including reviews, recommendations, and behind-the-scenes insights. Join our community of film lovers and never miss out on updates on iconic movies. Hit that subscribe button, and let's explore the world of movies together.